Let's say you've been wanting to work on your head movement, but you're not sure what aspect to focus on. You've been struggling a little bit. Today I'm going to take you through the most important head movement you can start learning right now, like today, because we're going to do a follow along practice session after I explain the technique to you and why this is so important. If you are involved in the striking world, you've probably watched some high-level fighters who are just all over the place with their head movement, and you're going, oh, I want to do that. And then you go to the gym and you try an sparring session and you're going, oh, this is so much harder than these professionals make it look. But that's okay, because we want to have little building block stages to get to the end point where we can actually evade shots when they're coming at you. But today what we're going to do is we're going to use preemptive head movement as you throw your punches. Now, why is this the most important head movement you can learn? Well, evading punches is one of the many ways you can deal with shots coming at your head. You can parry, you can block and just turtle shell up, and then you can also utilize head movement. But with all those options, using preemptive head movement when you throw an attack means that you're not going to leave your head right above your feet in that center line, and as you compromise yourself as you throw, you won't get countered. And that's the very important part, because many times when people get knocked out, it's not when somebody comes forward and throws 6 or 7 or 8 punches at them. It's when they come in, they throw a couple punches, and then they eat something. So utilizing this preemptive head movement could save you a world of trouble, and it's a nice way to start off by learning to get the head movement as you throw punches before drawing back, removing the punches, and then just working on evading somebody else's. So let's start and go through the finer details of what this slip with a punch should look like. So I want you to start off and imagine just what a proper slip is basically like. I'm in my fighting stance. Now I want to make sure that I choose the right direction. Obviously, if I slip straight forward, I'm going to go right into the punch. But if I go completely sideways, I'm now having to use my obliques to pull myself back up. My back feels out of position. And most importantly, it's very difficult for me to get a counter shot off from this point. So I need to make sure I'm using my legs. And I'm not going straight to the side, but I'm actually going between forwards and sideways on a 45-degree angle. This means that when I drop to the side, my head is actually moved forward a little bit. So if I slip the jab and my head's over here, somebody getting the cross off is going to be that much more difficult. So when we activate our slips, think 45-degree angles for the straight punches. So when we activate our slips while throwing a punch, we want to think 45-degree angles. Remember to engage the legs, little turn of the body as we drop, and that is essentially the slip. You guys should already know how to throw the punches. Make sure that you come straight out, rotate the body, and very important, the other hand is plastered to the head. This is extra critical when you engage a slip at the same time, because your hand needs to protect your head as your head falls potentially into a round kick or a hook or something like that. If you happen to drop and this hand is low, you can eat the shot and make it more powerful because of your own movement. So once we put those motions together, the last thing to do is to start engaging the feet. Because very rarely can I just stand here and hit somebody, hit somebody, hit somebody. I need to be back here. I need to step forward, move my head, and then exit, or step forward, move my head, then recenter it, and then finish my combo before exiting. So I want us to begin very simple on this follow along exercise, and I just want hands to the head, both of them, maybe one in front, whatever you prefer, and I want us to throw the jab, but we're just going to engage the head just that tiny little bit, remembering that it's not off to the side or it's not forward, but it's that 45-degree angle. You should feel strong when you drop and you pause here. In this position, I feel very weak and off balance. So let's get 10 punches off with a little head slip, and your other hand stays tight to the jaw. And 1, 2, doesn't have to be fast. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And off the other arm, head dropping the opposite way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now what we've done here is anytime you throw a punch, especially if it's your first one and you move your head, any shots that came by will miss. Nobody sees you move forward and goes, oh, I'm going to punch down there in case they move. No, everybody goes right there. So you're just preemptively learning how to slip, and believe me, this will save you. So many times when I've seen people get knocked out in UFC fights in particular, it's because they rush forward and attack with their head straight above their feet. Very, very dangerous. And if you are the shorter fighter, you need to know how to do this. This is crucial as the shorter fighter, because if you come straight in, your opponent's going to outreach you every time. So you get your head off the center line, and then once you've closed the gap, you let those hands fire. Now let's practice from back here, moving in with the head off the center line and exiting. We're just going to do 5 per arm. Ready? 1, 2, 3, hands still up to the head, 4, 5, other side. You can tell I'm taking it really slow. There's no need to rush it. Stepping forward with the left foot first, right hand throws. You can step back, or you can step with the left foot, the right foot, head off the center line, and throw. Either option is fine. 5 times. 1, and exit. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now from here, let's run through one scenario where we move in, and then we throw a combo, and then we exit. Let's go jab with the head off the center line, lift out, upper hook, cross, and then safely exit. Just 5 times again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you guys, if you're watching me as you're doing it, you can tell I take a tiny little pause on the first one before going into the rest, just to make sure my technique is on point. That's a good learning curve, but as you get more and more comfortable, then obviously you just want to go straight into it. This is all I have for you guys today. Just want you to recognize that offensively, this is the most important slip you can utilize, and keep in mind, this doesn't just have to be offensive. You can also, when somebody comes to jab at you, slip and throw your shot at them and then lift out. Or they come with the cross. You slip, you throw your cross. But if you practice this offensively enough times, then all of a sudden when people start jabbing at you, defensively, you're just going to start doing it. This, in my opinion, is much easier to do than to drop your hands in the middle of a sparring session and try to start slipping everything and going, shoot, I'm not having any luck here. The way I showed you is a good building block to get comfortable with evading punches. You don't rush it. You learn how to make sure you're initiating head movement as you attack, and then bit by bit, you can start adding in the defensive aspect. And then even further down the line, if somebody throws 3 punches at you, you might go, oh, slip and punch, and slip a second, and then slip a third, and then get my counter off. It all comes step by step. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please give it a like. If you have not already, join the channel and get subscribed. Train hard, guys, and I will see you back here soon for another video.